everyone. We are the presenter of Activity 2.2 entitled Motivational and Affective Factors. For Principle 7, Motivational and Emotional Influences on Learning. What and how much is learned are influenced by learners' motivation. If we are motivated, we are not forced to learn. We voluntarily want to learn. Motivation to learn, in turn, is influenced by individuals' emotional states, beliefs, interests, and goals, and habit of thinking. The rich internal world of thoughts, beliefs, goals, and expectations for success or failure can enhance or interfere with learners' quality of thinking and information processing. The way we think may either attract positivity or negativity. Students' beliefs about themselves as learners and the nature of learning have marked influence on motivation. If we don't believe in ourselves, we look down ourselves. And if we are motivated, it helps us boost our confidence. Motivation and emotional factors also influence both the quality of thinking and information processing as well as individuals' motivation to learn. Positive emotions such as curiosity, like asking questions what we live and why we live for, keep us keep going and learn. Generally, it enhances motivation and facilitates learning and performance. When we have faith in something, we put it into action and it is where we learn and grow. Mild anxiety can also enhance learning and performance by focusing the learner's attention on particular tasks. An adequate amount of anxiety isn't always a bad thing. It can help us keep track on everything that we do and keep our toes and make us productive. However, intense negative emotion, example anxiety, panic, rage, insecurity, and related thoughts, example worrying about competence, ruminating about failure, fearing punishment, ridicule, or stigmatizing labels, generally detract from motivation, interfere with learning, and contribute to low performance. In principle number 8, intrinsic motivation to learn. The learner's creativity, high-order thinking, and natural curiosity all contribute to motivation to learn. Intrinsic motivation is stimulated by tasks of optimal novelty and difficulty, is relevant to personal interest, and provides for personal choice and control. Principle 8. Intrinsic motivation to learn. The learner's creativity, higher order thinking, and natural curiosity all contributed to motivation to learn. Intrinsic motivation is stimulated by tasks of optimal novelty and difficulty, is relevant to personal interest, and provides for personal choice and control. Here, someone wants to learn for satisfaction, fun, and challenge, not for a reward or pressure. Curiosity, flexible, and insightful thinking and creativity are major indicators of learners' intrinsic motivation to learn, which is in large part a function of meeting basic needs to be competent and to exercise personal control. Intrinsic motivation is facilitated by assignments of tasks that learners perceive as interesting and personally relevant and meaningful, appropriate in complexity and difficulty of learners' abilities, and on which they believe they can succeed. Intrinsic motivation is also facilitated by assignments of tasks or uncomparable to real-world situations that meet the needs for choice and control. Here are some examples. Participating in a sport because it's fun and enjoy rather than doing it to win an award, or learning new languages because it's like experiencing new things and because you want. It is not because your job requires it. Like for me, volunteering in community like outreach programs, not to praise off for doing something but to help and also learn in life of others. Not forced to go but voluntarily go. Educators can encourage and support learners' natural curiosity and motivation to learn by attending to individual differences in learners' perception of optimal novelty and difficulty, relevance, and personal choice and control.
Principle number 9. Effects of motivation and effort. Acquisition of complex knowledge and skills requires extended learner effort and guided practice. Without learners' motivation to learn, the willingness to exert this effort is unlikely without coercion. So the learner's motivation to learn is also partnered by their extended effort. Teachers facilitate learning opportunities and experiences that encourage learners to exert time and effort. Kapag ang isang estudyante ay walang gana o walang motivation na matuto ng isang bagay, ay parang napipilitan na lamang siyang gawin kung ano yung ipinapagawa sa kanya. Effort is another major indicator of motivation to learn. The acquisition of complex knowledge and skills demands the investment of considerable learner energy and strategic effort along with persistence over time. Magiging motivation din ang pag-exert ng effort. Bago mo mapag-aralan ng isang bagay, kailangan mong mag-effort, and we all know that effort is not that easy, but we have to be persistent na maaabot din natin yung mga bawat goals natin. Educators need to be concerned with facilitating motivation by strategies that enhance learner effort and commitment to learning and to achieving high standards of comprehension and understanding. Malaking parte ng ating learnings ang ating mga guro dahil sila ang mga nagsisilbing gabay in every step that we made in acquiring new knowledge and skills. They will encourage learners to exert more efforts and time to have commitment towards task they have to do. Sa pamamagitan ng encouragement ng teachers, they will have this eagerness to learn, not just to enjoy at para may maisabit lang, but also to do all the tasks with quality and efforts. Effective strategies include purposeful learning activities guided by practices that enhance positive emotions and intrinsic motivation to learn, and methods that increase learners' perceptions that a task is interesting and personally relevant. Teachers can praise works that have been done well. They can also acknowledge every little achievement of a person. Example, if ang teacher ay nagbibigay ng mga examples na nangyayari sa totoong buhay na nakaka-relate ang lahat. So, mas nakukuha niya ang atensyon at di ba hindi boring because nakaka-relate ang all. Then, mas nagiging participative ang mga estudyante. Gumagawa ng paraan para hindi ka mawalan ng gana.
If a student is not motivated to learn, does it mean that the student lacks of motivation in general? For me, it is yes. If a student is not motivated to learn, a student doesn't have things to look forward in life, like aims and goals to strive hard. Goals, beliefs, emotions, motivation to learn, students' performance. If we are motivated, have goals and beliefs, we are inspired and we can have good performance. We become participative, high grade. We strive hard, satisfaction. We are motivated and we are more likely to welcome challenges and see it as an opportunity.
I am tasked to answer activity 2.2, number 3 to 5. So number 3, write true if the following statement is true at all times. Otherwise, complete the sentence. This statement is false if, so the statement is, anxiety hinders student performance. So my answer is true. Why true? Because when we have anxiety, we can't think properly and all the thoughts that comes in our mind is all negative. It's not easy to have anxiety. For example, you have to finish a task but you can't because your mind is not in a good condition. And if you get stressed because you can't do the task properly, then your anxiety will be worse. So number 4, what kind of learning activities or tasks support students' intrinsic motivation? Intrinsic motivation is facilitated by assignment of tasks that learners perceive as interesting and personally relevant and meaningful, appropriate in complexity and difficulty to the learner's abilities, and on which they believe that they succeed. Intrinsic motivation is also facilitated by assignment of tasks that are comparable to real-world situations and meet needs for choice and control. Number 5, what teachers practices support a student's effort to accomplish a complex task? Educators need to be concerned with facilitating motivation by strategies that enhance learners' effort and commitment to learning and to achieving high standards of comprehension and understanding. Effective strategies include purposeful learning activities guided by practices that enhance positive emotions and intrinsic motivations to learn, and methods that increase learners' perception that a task is interesting and personally relevant.